Hello, my name is David Geer. I'm a Senior Technical Specialist with ATG USA, and today I'd like to discuss HIVE from a newcomer's perspective. Our agenda today is to understand the power of HIVE as a content management solution for the AEC industry. Our topics will be what is HIVE, general navigation, navigation within a Revit project environment, a project example, and general administration. So what is HIVE? HIVE is a content management system used to store, index, and provide global access to many types of files. In addition to its file storage capacity, it facilitates organization of content through the use of libraries, tags, and metadata. HIVE also provides a rich search experience and works with many Windows applications and offers access control beyond simple file sharing and folder browsing. Now that we know what HIVE is, let's show you what HIVE looks like from a user's perspective. Here we have the user interface for a typical end user. As you can see to the far left, we have our tools. These include Search, Discover, Save Search, Request, Libraries, Content, Add Content, and About. Administrators will have 3 additional buttons that include Company, Tags, Users, and Groups for you to control what your end users will be able to do. Now, if we look at the top, you'll see a search content bar that is very similar to Google or Bing or any other search engine. All you need to do is enter what you want to search and out pops the results. Just below the search content bar, you will see My Saved Searches area. This is where your saved searches go for future access. The next group is libraries. All content that is hosted in HIVE is added to different libraries. These library groupings can help manage content. Examples are Revit out-of-the-box content, manufacturer's content, Word documents, and Excel spreadsheets. Next group is the tags group. Tags can be added to any content to allow users in a cross-search through different libraries. Examples are doors, walls, windows, light fixtures, and details. And finally, on the right-hand side, you'll see the filters location where we can take our search and drill down our search even further. Now, let's transition to the software and walk you through some of the items that HIVE will do. So now I'm going to go ahead and launch HIVE from the desktop version. And as you can see, I am a administrator user, so I have the 3 additional buttons. So if I click on the search button group up here, and go ahead and type in lights, I can see it went ahead and gave me different light items. I'm going to go ahead and change my view to a grid view so I can see a little bit more here. And so I can go ahead and save that as a future search by hitting the Save button. And I'm going to go ahead and save that. So now if I go back to the home, we'll see during my save searches, I have furniture and light. And if I go back to home, I can go hit the furniture and see the different saved searches that are available to me. So now if I go to the Discover, I can click on the libraries and see the different libraries. What this allows me to do is just quickly go in to any of the libraries that are available to me and search by the different attributes or content. So if I type in door, I might want to say Revit content, doors, and it's going to give me all the doors that are available out of the 2018 out-of-the-box architectural. Again, if I come back to my saved searches, like you saw earlier that I created the light search, here's where I can come in and execute and edit or delete any searches that I may want. Request. This is where the end user can add a request to the manager, or if in my case, I can manage the requests that are available to me. All the user has to do is go ahead and hit the place request, say what library you want to request for, what subject you want, and any details, any tags or any files that you want to do. You hit the send request and it sends it up to the admin. I'm going to go ahead and hit cancel here. And next is our libraries. What you'll see in here is the library list that allows us to go in and edit and create new libraries as we need to in our organization. So if I click on the all light louvers and I hit edit, you'll see the different information that is available to me. And right now I am the admin user and I have no groups assigned. Well, that means I'm the only one right now that can really work with this content. So if I need more people in my firm to work on this, I'm going to hit add. I'm going to go browse to the different user groups that I may have created as a admin. And I'm going to grab that team and hit select. And I can either assume that they're consumer or contributor. Consumer means all they're doing is pulling down, and contributor means that they can pull down and push up content. And that is all they can do. I'm going to leave them as consumer because I don't want them to edit my content. It will send out an email to the rest of your team letting them know that they have been invited to that library. Now, if I go to the content, when I click on content, this may take a little bit, depending on how much information you have uploaded into the Hive. This is every piece of information that has been loaded into Hive, where it's a material, a text file, a Word document, an Excel file, so on and so forth. This is where I can individually manage the different content and delete content. Now, if I come over to delete content, you'll notice that there's nothing selected because everything has been cleared out. So if I come over here, to say my libraries here, I want to filter out just to my Hive libraries, and maybe I want to delete this file. One thing it's going to ask you is, do you want to delete the content from Hive only or delete it from Hive in your local network? I strongly suggest do not delete Hive from local network. Not only will it delete it from your Hive, but it will delete it from any computer or network drive that you have. So I'm going to hit delete from Hive only. Now it deletes it, but it puts it in the delete content. This is very similar to your recycle bin in Windows. So if I want to, I can come over here and hit permanent delete, and it removes that item out of it, and it asks me, are you sure you really want to do this? Yes, I do. Now, if I come over to the add content, what library do I want to add content to? If I want any tags, I can go in and place the tag as need be. Now, the beauty of Hive is I don't need to assign a tag when bringing objects in. I can come back in later and assign tags. So I'm actually going to go out to my drive here. I'm going to navigate to my folder here for Hive Newcomer's Guide here. And I'm going to come in and grab some Word documents here and some Excel files and maybe a PowerPoint. And all I got to do is click, hold, and drag, and it brings them up into the Hive. Once I have them in here, I have to come in and hit process. As soon as I hit process, it'll go ahead and process those files to be put up into the library. If I click on the company, as an admin, these are the different things that I will see and be able to control. Same thing with tags. As an admin, these are the different tags I can come in and add and create. If I click on the users and groups, it will take me out to the website in order to add additional control as an admin. So I'm going to go back to the search, and that brings us to the home here. Well, you saw where I actually could pull up content. So I'm going to go to the ATG support documents item, and you can see that it has all these Word and Excel documents, and even a PowerPoint, or excuse me, PDF. If I click on, let's just say click on this first Word document here, it's actually going to open up Word and allow me to see that. I don't have to know where it is, but I have that. Same thing with this PDF. If I open up the PDF, it brings up that PDF document for me to go ahead and be able to look and see what's going on. Now, I'm going to go back to the home, and I'm going to click on my Zern items here. I can say, what is the relevance? Is there any tags? So on and so forth. Or maybe a specific date that I want to look for different content of. And of course, the date I chose means that there's no content within that date. If I clear that out and hit apply, I'll get everything in here. So I'm going to go back to the home. Now remember, I also said we had tags. So we'll see we have an arch tag here. If I click on the arch tag, what the user has done is applied a tag to all these elements so they come in an arch category. So it could be walls, doors, and windows. So this concludes the desktop portion of the HIVE software. Now let's take a look at HIVE through the lens of a Revit user. HIVE offers a Revit add-in that allows you to access HIVE directly from the Revit ribbon. As you notice here, the user interface from the Revit portion and the HIVE desktop applications looks very similar. The main notice that you'll see is in the filters on the far right, you'll see Revit filters where it has a check mark, only Revit content. Also too is when you go to your main area of your screen and scroll down, you'll have different Revit categories that helps you quickly access Revit content through the HIVE. So now I've opened up Revit and I went in and just used the architectural template that's out of the box. I want to come to my ribbon and see my CTC software tab and go ahead and click on the HIVE suite. Notice that it goes ahead and pulls up just like you saw earlier, and by default only Revit content is checked. So if I go back to my ATG support documents, you'll notice that it shows nothing is found. Well, if I come in and uncheck the only Revit content and hit apply, I will now see the Word documents and PDF documents that we had earlier. What this allows you to do is just mainly focus on the Revit only content. So I'm going to go back to the search and go ahead and hit home. So if I come into the 2018 out of the box or 2020, I can find whatever item it is. I can double click on it. It's going to go ahead and launch it, and I'm going to minimize HIVE here and allow me to place this content directly from HIVE. I'm going to go hit modify and come back and maximize HIVE, and I'm going to go ahead and hit the home. Allows me to get back to all this content. Well, I might need to come in and create different wall styles. Well, if I have a repository of wall styles, all I got to do is click on that wall style, go ahead and load it, minimize HIVE, and it executes the wall command for me and loads that wall style, saving me time, energy, and effort in creating my Revit models. Now, what I want to do is transition from how do we bring content from HIVE into Revit to how do we push content from Revit to HIVE. So what I want to do is come back to my search and go ahead and hit home. I'm going to go back to the add content, and now you'll see where it says files. Now I have project. Well, first I'm going to jump over and I'm going to minimize HIVE. I'm actually going to come over and go into my my project here that I have, and just show you that there is actually something in here. And what I want to do now is come back to the HIVE and maximize it and come into the project. What it's doing now is reading everything from the project here, and what I need to do is verify what library do I want these items to go into. So I'm going to go find my Geer HIVE testing, and do I want to place any tags? I can also come over here and filter by different categories, and maybe say I only want the walls. I can come over here and say check all and go ahead and tell it to process. And now it's uploading those wall types up to the HIVE for me to use for different future projects. Now that those items are completed processing, all I have to do now is come back to my search, go find my catalog, and those wall styles are now loaded in there. All I got to do now is I'm going to come back to my, go ahead and minimize HIVE here. I'm going to go back to my project one, maximize HIVE, and grab the wall style I want. Let it go ahead and execute, minimize HIVE, and come in and start drawing that wall style. So hopefully this has helped you figure out how HIVE can be very useful to you, and from a newcomer's perspective of what the benefits that HIVE can provide for you and your company. So in conclusion, HIVE allows searching all content independent of folders. HIVE searches the specific attributes within the content, including custom tags and categories. Content can be hosted in the cloud or exclusively on the local network. Users experience instant consumption of files. Allows design software-specific consumption. If you have any further questions, please reach out to me at dgeer@ATG USA or Sean Prince. Thank you and have a wonderful day.